Lord, I did not see that part. Okay, that's all I need to do. It's the reflector. It'll reflect what you choose to neglect, man. How it goes, feel me? Uh, these circumstances, situations, and worlds we in right now is kind of like a little weird right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like talk about life after death. Shit, this is some. You really gotta dig deep in your spirit, what you done carried from lifetimes, or maybe you just on the positive side and you ain't really got none. So now you're just unfolding and uncovering things you may have not known. But you can do both of those things on each side of things, whatever spectrum. But it's just crazy though. I ain't gonna. This ain't even a video. But this is crazy the times we in. It's Wednesday right now. Shout out to Wednesday. I was born on a Wednesday, you feel me? And if you know about Wednesday, you know, it's not just a name. It's beyond a name, and it's something that you can understand for yourself. Just keep going through Wednesdays, through the weeks, and see like how or what you're predicated using your own subjective perception to actually view out and see like what you get affected by or what you're enticed by or what everything is predicated on as far as how you should be conducting yourself during that day. So Wednesday, wind, bitch, air, rationality, rationalities. You gotta be real rational, talk, intellectualize things, be communicative and stuff, and obviously you gotta look at what time periods, what zodiac sign that thinking virtue is in, that thinking energy is in. And right now it's in goddamn Virgo, but it's in the R retrograde. But all right, look, this ain't that video though. This ain't that video. My bad. I be into it because that shit's real. Like when you go out and experience, you literally see it play out, and everybody got their own energy in a different area. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the thinking planet right here in your head, whether it be because that's how you came out with your own alignments, or whether it be because we always have energies affecting us right now, aka planets being different zodiac signs, different time periods all the times, and that's always current events that's going on in the now. And you always got transitions, so they always move at the end of the day, because everything moves, everything is a cycle, nothing stays the same. Only thing that remains is change. But you really got to practice that shit though, because it's easier said than done. And you know, the world wants us to stay in place and kind of just drink from one energy sector as they do, as whoever gave us this type of context to even view words and talking in these ways and that in the first place. Those people, that's they, the people that came up with it, and that's still keeping up the power and keeping up the order in these ways and shit. So, you know, you gotta sometimes look at it like, damn, why the hell do I feel like I can't let a damn person go that died? Man, first of all, they already done manifested their own body. Why the fuck? That, I think that's the glorified part itself, and just how they lived with that body that we all know is gonna eventually die out is really more important. AKA just move on. So just have a good sense, a good feeling, a good comfort zone of how you felt about this person. But always use that as fuel to keep moving on, because currents and new vents and new water cycles are always happening. Just like the clouds always move, the clouds always accumulate, and then they always sometimes release, or sometimes they just pass on. It's all the same thing. We do the same shit. It's just in a different way. Just because the unknown ain't just seen, just like we can see in reality things, don't mean you gotta over exaggerate it or give it up to some other person that can think that might be more capable than you somehow, because you believe they have more resources, or they just have more seniority over you somehow, or more authority than you. But it's all just comes down to you feeling like, yeah, they got mental authority over you. So your mind can't exceed certain limits that really it can. It ain't about using a certain percentage amount of your damn brain. Last time I checked, you have a whole bunch of brains, organs that pump. Your brain per se pump too. It just pump different type of fluids and shit, because it's more and predicated up here. So it's everything you can see. So it must be from the point, the start to your body. You know what I'm saying? Yep, we can measure from the feet and up, but you know, that just lets you know what kind of system we in. I mean, who's to say we can't measure from the top down, you know, like, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, anyways, so yeah, let's get into the damn video. All right. I'm fucked out, man. All right, so let's get into the video. All right, so look, this is why being alone is not smart, and I mean, being alone is the wrong thing to do, and it's not smart. You know what I'm saying? Part 2. So I ain't even looked at my video I said at first, but I'm gonna just talk from my perception now. Oh yeah, and what I was doing before is just breaking down how just existence, really. It's just making it simple so it ain't too complicated and stuff like that. So that was important, you know, but it wasn't about this video and stuff, so it's kind of going to throw people off. But hey, if you with it, you with it. But, so yeah, so look, you always got to have like a ground basis or just a point to start from that you're basically going to, you know, give a circumstance to. So you're going to give your idea to, and then you automatically, when you have an idea, you automatically have to have something to go through. You automatically have to have duality from that idea, aka see what it might be presented as automatically, because when you do that, that means you have something within the circumstance. And so boom, that's a full, you trying to do something. So anytime you in that energy, you should always know that at the end of the day, when you're putting that into trying to be alone and trying to actually like save yourself almost type shit. I low key, hold on. I'm getting thrown off. Cause why did I start for? Well, yeah, that's the ground basis. So you got to know that, yeah, you trying to do anything, you can do anything you want, but just know there's always reasons and there's always a meaning. So if you are in a world that's all about comfort and meanings about private things, or your growth, or your ability to heighten yourself, your ability to take your past and transform to the future, you're always changing. If that's the case, then that means at some point, some way, somehow, if you are even seeing to be by yourself in this realm, that just must mean you don't like what you don't have, in a sense. Like, so you feel like, you know, you don't really have no sense for yourself. Like, you don't have what it takes to actually relate to another human, basically. And you feel like everything that human gives you, you never gonna really be satisfied because you don't really know what it is. So like, you feel like basically you dealing with yourself is easier to do, you know. But that just must come from something to do with you not being able to deal with people. Like, you must not be able to share your space with others, because this is how you know we all got spirits, which is just a space of observation, your place of observation. You know, if you can't share the fact that somebody else can do exactly what you can, but they move differently because you kind of spooked out by the world that you in due to the government putting these things on us. So what's the unknown is purely somebody being able to pick thoughts and feelings, a feeling to pick in the situation itself, in the scenario, and you can't really respect that because you don't know where the fuck that shit came from. And you automatically are in negative energies when it comes to that because it's fear-based. So you're just gonna, you know, you just basically can't share these ideas with people. Because sometimes sharing ideas with people don't mean you gotta externalize it all the time. That just means sometimes you could just think to yourself while you see that they're not really coming from the same space as you. But even if they're opposing you, or they might be in a different position, if you can't see through that, you'll feel like, you know, you can't even, why bother? Because I don't want to, because at that point, that means you're not trying to switch up yourself as a spirit, switch up your space and how you conduct yourselves and conduct how you externalize yourself, and selves as in your different many parts of you, and you can't externalize it right, or you don't feel open enough to, then you'll feel like you would rather just do all of that with yourself. But whole time, if you do that, you're just making more of what you already made. This is my point. If you like being by yourself, remember, like I said, you gotta have a basis to start from. You're trying to be by yourself. So you having an idea, period, in the direction of isolation, being in self, hermit, not sharing, stinginess, spoiled. All that's because being by yourself means you spoiled. And if you don't believe me, why the fuck every rich kid goddamn spoiled for real? Because most of the time they alone too damn much. And if they ain't, and if they're not alone, they around a lot of people growing up, they're gonna eventually just be alone. I had Michael Jackson. He wasn't really alone though, when he grew up, but he forces. I think he could actually. I don't even think he had to say so. He had to be around people. But I know growing up, he was around people a lot. But but when I say that though, I kind of feel indifferent. I'm like on both sides with his Virgo ass. I can't even tell, cause it's transparent. It's like mutable. It's like one end he wants to be alone, but he still somehow be around people though. So never mind. Fuck that shit. Anyway. Cause you'll have some people that's with church. They'll think, well, as long as I got Jesus and God, I'm good. But yeah, I be chewing it. So yeah, I chew it. I chew it. But so the Jesus and God thing and stuff, that's just basically you saying you'll keep what you already was born with and keep giving that life, not share it, not go through things. Remember, you as a spirit is already in a body. You gotta like command it to go through situations that's outside of you. If you have circumstances as a spirit within your body around you, you can pick different worlds. You got that shit outside of you too. So you got the ability to go through things and change up and grow while you're doing that. So that means it's like you spiraling as your own way, your own world, but you also have the world around you that's going in you, out of you, and all this simultaneously. So it's like you have to just change at the end of the day. But if you're gonna put all that energy into already yourself, aka being out in the world, talking, going to different places, actually putting yourself out there sometimes, share vortexes. If you just keeping that all to yourself, so you rather just go out to eat with yourself, be antisocial even when you're out, but you'll rather really stay inside and never really talk to people for real, like one-on-one personally type shit. You would rather keep it as associates or, y'all got business together. That's probably it. So, and then you'll probably fail because you try to bring them to your like relationships or bring them to, what you're familiar with, but that's not going to work because that's going to lead to somehow, some way you getting flunked out in your heart and stuff because you don't realize that's just people that, but I'm just explaining right now how basically a person that's in their shell or they'd rather be alone because, social media done told us. I kind of should have started with this, but fuck it. Social media kind of makes us believe that you got to be alone. Like, there's a lot of posts nowadays, it's basically all in a nutshell saying rather be like better alone than with somebody else type shit. And see, there's not, at the end of the day, man, like I said, we always trying to do stuff. So for you to even be in a position, and we always experiencing that spirit, for you to even be in a position to get pushed up against the wall, whether you let the world affect you to let you feel like it's okay, or you actually as a spirit, spiritually, you feel like being alone is better. That just means at some point yourself or the world outweighs you, where now you want to be isolated. Remember, isolation is like a punishment. I thought that's punishment. I thought isolation was punishment. You feel me? In school, when you did bad, guess what? You had to sit by yourself. Lunch, sit by yourself. Gym, sit by yourself. Or stay with the teacher. That's basically isolation because you can't say nothing to the teacher. What the fuck y'all gonna talk about? You know what I'm saying? Nobody trying to catch no case and shit. The wrong things said and stuff. So, or when if you in fucking jail or something like that, and then you do something, get into a fight or something, and they gotta put you in the goddamn single cell isolation type shit. you know, you can look at those things like, oh well, there's still good and bad to those. Well, it's like obviously there's good and bad to every state, good and bad, positive spectrum, good, negative spectrum, bad. But it ain't even a word. It's just it's always spectrums to things. And actually, negative ain't even actually looked at as bad. Negative is just more internal, more receiving, more holding on to. Like, you ever been around a person that it seemed like they in negative spirits, but that's just how they are, because they rather receive what's going on to maybe feel comfortable to, as a spirit, express things out that they think, you know. So people look at that, like I used to look at that like negative as hell, like why the hell you being like that? But that's just how people are. Some people. So AKA, that's not negative, that's just how they clearly are. They help themselves just be a fucking spirit in a body and be a human in everyday life, you know. That's how they be. So the point is, being isolated, bitch, is goddamn a punishment at the end of the day. So whether your spirit giving you a whooping, whether God give you a whooping, whether the universe giving you a whooping, either way, you must have been trying to do something that you got pushed to the ropes. Now you got to be alone. AKA, some way, somehow, you got taken advantage of. Some way, somehow, you didn't feel fulfilled. Some way, somehow, you feel like you took the short end of the stick. Some way, somehow, you feel like something ain't fair at the end of the day. Even if you've been burying these thoughts, these emotions, these visions, this aggression you got, like, even if, like, at the end of the day, if it led you to being alone, like I said, though, that because this right here is considered negative, but everybody is in their own way of life. So everybody's in their own starting point to, like, go experience from there. So it's like, I'm not nobody to say you can't be alone. I'm just letting you know that if you are alone, it's a time period of accumulation that's been building up for your ass to even be in a space, collective ideas of, as a spirit, of that type of shit, being alone. Like I said, not positive and negative, but if you are the motherfucking type, you only alone because social media told you, because you feel like something wasn't fair, because you feel like, you know, you've been taken advantage of, because you feel like you gave too much, you took the short end of the stick and shit. That's your fault. But that's not like that's wrong. Like, sometimes you gotta go through that, okay? You gotta go through that, and that's the real God. Not God having the favors and you're a favorite. Like, you know, God choose the certain righteous or some shit. No. It's the nothing. Like, the fact that out of all these thoughts, out of all these things, you not fulfilled, so you trying as a spirit, wasn't fulfilled, fell short. What you thought you were gonna take or receive back from the universe, because it's, you know, masculine pushing out, you didn't receive nothing, so you unfulfilled. You led yourself into, I mean, my bad, and I'm explaining God, the real God, nothing. So out of all of those things, out of all of those times, nothing was suited. The confirmation you can see in front of you, the things you can confirm as it is what it is in reality, is the fact that you on punishment because you alone, because you as a spirit don't know how to use your own thoughts, your own feelings, and since you can't do that, whatever you're going through, you can't even see nothing out the right lens. So eventually the universe is against you, you're against yourself, because you didn't even, whatever you tried to do didn't go nowhere. And now God, which is beyond all of that, is just the place we all in as a spirit, but that place has no point to start from. It's just the fact that it's all there as the collection of our minds, universe, as the planet we in and shit like that, and then you combine all of this other shit, the mist above it and shit. That circumference above that, that's God. But what is that though? Ain't nobody to say what that is. All you can say is, damn, that's just the pure facts that's in front of you. And I'm not saying logical facts. I'm saying like the end time solidification of what you, according to your position, you can take the piece out of God. You can take the piece out of the fact that we all at one point was just the circumference. We always just spirits beyond the forms within it, the thoughts, the feelings. So any imagination, it's not no imagination. There's not no way to prefix it, presupposition it, nothing. It's just, and not the Bible, nothing. It's purely everybody's spirit, got observation. You got the ability to look out. If we all doing that together and there's spirits within that and their spirits kind of floating around, then that means all of that is the, I mean, beyond that is the nothing. It's like no thing. It's just the fact that it's there. So for you to be isolated, your ass just must have been so far into your desire, your way of seeing, your potentials, your wishes, your love matters, your all this other energies that we all got. You might get lost into one of these and force yourself into a handful of spaces that is you being alone. Clearly, you see confirmation all the fucking time in real life that people ain't fucking alone and they're doing just fine. You can sit there and say something about God, so something outside that you really can't help, but now you want to tag along to give your own mind and kind of agree with the fact that, oh, but that's them and I'm me. So it's contradicting. If you know that that's them and you know that you got your own spirit then, right? So why are you giving somebody else some type of 2 cents when whole time that's the shit right there, your ability to be your own perspective. So if that's the case, then you just must be in a perspective yourself of being in that space of being alone. So that should just let you know, okay, if you can't see yourself out of that, or you can't see from the outside looking in, which is hard, but if you as a spirit light enough to not get lost, so not to get lowered into the space you're already in. So now your thoughts and feelings are getting affected by the space, and the space itself that you carrying with you as an aura is getting shredded by the goddamn world that you in. So you just getting double whacked. Now you can't see out of it. Now, but if you light enough, you'll just be like, damn, I'm just in this space because at the end of the day, if you use your own perspective in your own worlds, you'll see it right there. That's goddamn. I've been playing myself. I've been playing the fool. I've been not saying what I need to say in certain ways or certain instances because I'm still thinking in my imagination like I can help anything else but myself. You know what I'm saying? AKA, either way, beyond the words I'm saying, the point is the fact that you're the one that did it. That's it. Can't help it. I can't help but wait till you see this ain't the same. I ain't even drink it. So that's the shit right there, man. How long has it been? 20 minutes. All right, it's not bad. Yo. My last video was like 40 something minutes. I can talk forever, man. This ain't preaching. But at certain senses, I kind of do preach. But really, I just teach, though. Because I just got a standing where I'm coming from. I'm the tree. And I'm a goddamn give everybody, every individual, some way that they can take what I'm saying. And, you know, each one teach one now. Because the only way you can teach is by telling someone something, told someone. And the only way you can be a student or receive the knowledge or be on the other end of that is you're a good listener. You can actually be wise enough to receive too at the same time as you distribute. So you'll always goddamn, you know what I'm saying? But that's the shit right there. You know what I mean? That's the shit. All of this is, that's what it means by all of this is illusion, because if you don't know that at the end of the day, beyond your thoughts and how you see things right now, that don't have anything to do with nothing, then you're just gonna think everything in front of you is the end all be all. And that's just not the case. And if you think that, no wonder why you still stressed. and you're looked at as not favored in the actual world and in your actual face. You know it damn well you're not favored. Talking about I'm favored though, bitch. You just saying your own mind is favored. Your own mind is favored. I know I'm doing it. Two, something that you thinking that you know the right perception of, that you have no business being in that space because that's not what you created or your resonated spirit family come from. So you're just gonna be trying to be like something that you're not actually in a state of being in. You're just within it, being supported, being sheltered, spoiled over that building in the mental world. Like that's their shit. You trying to be Jesus, save people, be a business person, help your people and shit. You think you gonna get something back. Basically doing shit how it was taught to you to do. You gonna protest this shit. You gonna do it how, no, it's like, no. There's many ways to do things. And if you got abstract thinking, you can abstractly see that a lot of these things is gonna come dead. But at the same time, it could be very possible for a lot of these things in the world nowadays to flourish where everybody gonna end up, to a certain extent, scratching and surviving. Good time, enjoy. But if it gets to that, that should just let y'all know how much nobody's actually giving and receiving. How much some people taking, some people holding on to what they got, some people not willing, holding on to what they got. Some people is trying to exchange, but they might be exchanging with the wrong people, so that person take too much. So it's like it's too much of that going on, and nobody's pinpointing, aka everybody's just looking at what their problems is, their bills, blah blah blah, their own little world. So at that point, you gonna stay holding a gun to everybody else that's not with you, even if you don't even know them. AKA separation. Nobody's ever gonna come together. But like I said, if you got abstract thinking, you can think beyond the world you always live in, yourself and what you experience, and you can just realize at the end of the day, all this shit is falling and it's going to end up not working out. And it's gonna be like free for all, where it's just gonna have to be another system like trading or no currency, and it, or like group, like on some tribe shit. You gotta just be with a group and that's y'all's currency because y'all provide shit. And obviously if you're a human, you always providing because you gotta get something to eat, right? You gotta go to stores, fix your car because you don't know how to fit. You know what I'm saying? So it's at the end of the day, there's ways to do it. It just ain't gotta be controlled by the fucking dollar. And if it did start being controlled by the dollar still later on, then there's a way to conduct that. It's not what it is. It's not that it's a dollar. It's not that people broke. No, it's how that is being done. How things are even coming to that. How it's coming to that. How is the accumulation starting? How is it ending? How is it starting? How is it going? How is it ending? How it went? And then how it started. You know what I'm saying? Just look at all of those. But it's all the hows. It's all the ways. Not the fact that what we looking at. Because if that's the case, then what we looking at is we all fucking spirits. So does that mean all for one? No. That don't mean all we come together and it's for this one idea. Last time I checked, and even if we did do that, at least it needs to be a new idea from what we've been on. But if last time I checked, that's not individuality or a law of identity for each person to even have their own perception to say something anyway, you know? So obviously it ain't nothing about coming together all for one. It's all about, or we all are one type shit. It's just about like, God damn it, peace. Just peace. Like, ain't nobody got nothing against nobody. And we can make business off of that. Like I said, it ain't gotta be all about bills. Like, bro, how the fuck the water bills? How the fuck can you just turn on something? I mean, how the fuck can you just turn off something? If somebody water go out, I mean, they ain't paid their bill. And that actually got something to do with something. Like, at the end of the day, to me, that just sounds like somebody that got a job and somebody else that, you know, has to get that hammer where they don't have that capability or that name and title to have anything to do with that job unless they go through the middleman, which is just pay somebody else to get that person that did that to them in the first place, was cut their water off in the first place. It's like that's not life. That ain't even real. That's like some illusion that our predecessors been into. You know, at first it was selling your own people, ruling your own people, having them work for you. Now it's everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit, really. You know what I mean? Like, it's just more detailed now, so you can't even see it out. You can't even see a way out. Either way, man, my whole shit is there's ways to do this shit. Just because what you look at in front of you, at the end of the day, every human got some type of job that it has something to do with paying bills, going through fucking airports, goddamn going to, man, anything, bro. Anything. It's just somebody with a job. So that's just some human that got a position some way, somehow. Oh, shit. Just like your ass can get a position some way, somehow. Always remember, if that's the world we in where you want to be where somebody else is, right? But you can't. And you feel like they don't deserve it. If that's the interaction, if that's really what your mind is set on type shit, right? Even if you're coming in a genuine way and you're just like, damn, it would be good, nice to be there. That just lets you know that's all the world based off of. So position, power, as in you got power because you got the product to produce to even be in that position, and you have people that's observing you from afar, aka your building, and they just one person looking out, you know what I'm saying, but they can see your big ass building, and from there, that's where you got the tug of war, opposing energy, you know what I'm saying, all this other shit happening where it's unnecessary shit that's keeping us separated. Like, you're just gonna constantly look at people and shit and want to be like them. But the whole time, everybody can just be their own people. And that's based off of some way that you're supposed to present yourself and conduct these businesses, these teachings, these webinar, all this shit. It's a way you gotta present yourself. The whole time, like I said, just fucking humans like you. They ain't do nothing different than what you can do. Everybody got different talents and shit, obviously. But sometimes, we obviously done been to a job or a place where the workers wasn't that good. So it just lets you know, damn, at some point it's just getting lucky, but also knowing people. So that means you gotta be connected and be in on it type shit to actually see it grow and be a part of it. It's like, bro, that ain't got nothing to do, like, it's some good in that. You got celebrities and shit that built empires and shit, like 50 Cent and all this shit. But it's like, okay, but what is he doing for anybody else? And if he is doing something for some other people, that's people that he grew up with. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you start. But that lets you know that those people that he give it to or help don't really know what's going on. Or they just not really in on it. So it's almost like he's just in the shadows. He's not even close to them still. Like, and if you trying to help some people, right? Ain't you supposed to? That don't matter how famous you are. You supposed to be able to go face to face and do the shit. So that just lets you know it's other stuff going on. You gotta be in on it. You gotta be with the family. You gotta be on timing. Do it like this. How it's usually taught. Oh, if you wanna, after you apply, you gotta hit up the manager this time or right after that so you can follow up. Like, that's the rules and ways to how to do shit that really ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's how to apply with the world. And I know, and it's a time and place for everything. I'm not saying don't do none of that. I'm just letting you know, bitch, there's ways to do other shit, okay? There's ways to do other shit. I feel like they make this large bigger. Don't be alone. Back on topic. But yeah, remember though, y'all, that shit ain't the end all be all, man. And you wouldn't know what I just said unless you actually went beside yourself. You can retain things for yourself, okay? Don't get me wrong. You can, like, not really talk much and stuff like that and observe. But sometimes when you do that, you get lost in a world that might not be a part of reality. Even if you get confirmation, like, on the inside, that don't correlate with outside. So we done made a world that we all outside, and we all got confirmation of outsidism. So it's circumstance and confirmation. So then uh for the most part, you really need to apply with the world. See your thoughts, use them with the world. See, you let the universe in these situations, just depending on the phase we in, the energy, just do it and see what confirmations you get. Because that's all you can do. All you can do is try. Like I said in the first fucking instance when I first started talking about this, because you're gonna try, but it's all about the direction, and that's usually the way you're going, and that means that's how you're doing it. So you can at least try to, relate with the world no matter what it's doing to you. You're always supposed to be the one to change the universe. Especially as a dude, you change the things around you and the thoughts floating around you, and that's how you're able to direct. And you being your highest point, and you be so wise as a spirit that you're doing it. Not you're going through things, you're being yourself, but every time you get let down, you let that become a part of you. No, you're supposed to just let it cycle, let it go. Let the situation go. Like, it's just something you need to go through. It's up to you as a spirit to come up with the reason. And that's how you keep your fuel going. That's how you keep your space moving, because everything's always moving. You can't stay in one spot. So it's all about interacting with the world and having somebody with you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't really talking. See, that's why I say I was talking way more spiritual nowadays. I think I was kind of more, I think I was talking more physical, like how when you got somebody, blah, blah, blah. This time I'm talking about isolating yourself from God. When you isolate yourself, that means you more into the world than what your spirit actually sees beyond your own damn world and with the world that you interact with. You can't see beyond that, so now you run away from God because you keep isolating yourself into not seeing what's real. You can't, God ain't gonna come to you on your own. He come to you every fucking day because it's right in front of you. It ain't he, my bad. It's right in front of you. Like, who's to say? But it's easier said than done. So you can have a relationship that's not going right. So it's easy to blame the other person. Or you might be the type of person that you taking too much of the obligation, so you think you're doing the right thing. But that's obligation and that's pressure that you're basically putting on your spirit, which will turn into your actual, imaginations and how you think to yourself all the time. So then you basically doing what the world's telling you. Obligate yourself, get on all these disciplines and routines so you can make yourself heavy. But the whole time, you don't even need to do that because that don't have nothing to do with nothing. It went from 24. 14 minutes, man. Hey, look, this shit busting on here. Taurus moon things. My damn little dog be scratching the fuck out of my dogs. My little puppy be scratching the fuck out of me. Anyway, it's the reflector. Here to reflect what you choose to neglect. I'll see you.